Now let's take a look at the solo. The solo has a combination of a talk box, and there's some licks, and then it trades off with a guitar without the talk box. So the first idea has the talk box on it, but I'll just show it to you without that effect. It goes like this. In the key of E, just from the E minor pentatonic scale, 7 on the A, 5, 7, 7, to the D string, 5, 7 with a bend, 5, back to 7A. Next idea is played without the talk box. We're going to shift positions. It's going to go like this. So here we're going to have a bend from the 14th fret of the G string and the B string. Do that again, this time release, followed by the 12th fret of the same two strings. And then 14, same two strings, 12 to 14. Same idea with a bend and then release, pulling off to the 12th fret. And then 14 twice, 12, finally ending on the note E, 14 on the D string. So far we've just done this. Okay, next idea is played with the talk box. Shifting positions once again, moving higher on the fretboard. It goes like this. Okay, it starts off very bluesy, kind of a Joe Walsh style idea. In the key of E, we're going to bend up a whole step from the 19th fret of the B string and then play 16, 17, 18, 19 on the high E. Back to 19B, do a pre-bend, release, followed by 17. Now bend up a whole step from 19B, grab 19 on the high E. Now strike 19 on the B and release the bend. 17. Now up to 20 on the B, bend up and release. So here's the phrase we've just learned. Now shift positions. We're going to do this riff 3 times here. So bend up a whole step from 15 on the B, and then 12 on the high E, 15, 12 B. Those 4 notes are played 3 times. Now as the solo switches keys, we're going to move up 1 fret and play 16 from the B string, bend up, and then grab 13 on the high E. And that'll lead into our next note, which is played without the talk box. Okay, so here's the lick that we've just learned with the talk box, starting with that Joe Walsh style idea. All right, moving on. Here's the next phrase. This is played without the talk box. So here we'll start on the 14th fret of the high E string, 14, 17, bend up a whole step from 17 and release. Once again, bend up a whole step from 17, this time follow with 17, 16, 17, 14, 17, 14, 17B, 14 high E. Now do a bend of a whole step from 17 on the B string, followed by 15, 16 on the G, back to 17B, now 16G, 15 on the B, just done this, and now 16, 15, 14 on the G string, followed by 16 on the D, 14 on the G, shift positions, now 14 on the D string, bend up a whole step and release, pulling off to the 12th fret, followed by 14, 12, 14, 12 on the A, back to 12 on the D. All right, that's kind of a tricky one. Here's what we've just done. Okay, now here's the next phrase, which is played with the talk box. So here we're going to do a bend from the 12th fret of the high E string and release. Shift positions, bend a whole step from the 10th fret and release. strike 10, and then 7 on the high E, 7-10 on the B. Slight bend. Now we have some triplets. This will be 7 on the high E, 10-7 B. Now from the G string, bend up a whole step from the 9th fret, release, pulling off to the 7th fret. Now 9D, 9G, 7G. Now 9-7D, followed by 9 on the A. 8-7 on the A. 9-8-7 on the A. Shift positions, 5-7-5. 7 on the low E, 5 on the A, and then 7-5 on the low E, 5-6-7. Okay, so here's what we've just done. Coming out of the solo, there's some really cool breaks. They're pretty simple, but they sound great. We're going to play a G chord to a D chord, followed by this phrase. And then we're going to do this. And then the vocals come back in. So we'll play G to D. Okay, jump positions here. We're going to play a scratch and then 17 on the G and the B string. And we're going to do that 6 times before playing 19 on the D string. So you can think about that as being used around the A minor pentatonic pattern. Okay, back to G. And then this unison bend idea. Hold 20 on the B and bend up a whole step from 19 on the G. Okay, so here are those breaks starting with the G chord. And with that, there you have the highlights from Anything Goes.